Well, Bungie finally did it. They nerfed shotguns for the 100th time. But there is still one shotgun archetype that went diamond hands that held strong. And you guessed it, slug shotguns. And today we're going to be covering some tips and tricks for anyone looking to master slug shotguns. But before we do, if you enjoyed the video, you might want to consider dropping a like on the video, which really helps the channel out. Also, if you haven't joined the community Discord, it's a great place to hang out with me and other members of the PvP community, so join up. Also, this is a shorter video than usual, but I highly recommend you watch to the very end because the last tip I give in this video is the difference maker you need in your gameplay. But without further delay, let's get into the video. When it comes to slug shotguns, one of the biggest mistakes players make is improper reticle placement. A lot of players are under the assumption that the best place to aim is for the head, which is partially true. When using a slug shotgun, you want to secure a headshot for maximum damage. But when trying to aim for the head and moving your reticle to your target, there's a chance you miss. Rather than aiming for the head, try aiming for the neck. Destiny has such big hitboxes that aiming for the neck will guarantee you a critical shot. But you're probably saying,
But Brave, what if I land a body shot?
well, I'd rather land a body shot than completely miss my target overall, which is why I suggest you aim for the neck. At least if you land a body shot, you can still clean that target up with a melee. Unlike if you completely miss your target, well then you now have to reacquire your target and aim for the head again, or double melee, which can consume a lot of time and you might die in the process. Now what you're seeing on screen are the ranges for the shotgun archetypes. What you're not seeing is what those ranges look like. Are those ranges for god rolls or basic rolls? This is where we segue into understanding your slug shotgun. In this segment, I want you to do two things. First, you need to know your max one-hit kill range on your slug shotgun. Each slug shotgun is different. If you're someone coming from a chaperone to a legendary slug shotgun, you're gonna feel the difference. You're gonna be like, man, something's not working properly because each slug shotgun is different. Now, the reason you want to know your max range and visualize the distance is because when using a slug shotgun, this is the only thing that matters. Knowing how far you can one-hit kill is crucial. If you don't know your max range and you're trying to take down an enemy, it's gonna feel like you're shooting blanks. Just look, I am 1 meter out of my max range and it feels like my slugs are non-existent. This is gonna get you killed. Therefore, knowing your max range and how it looks is ideal to always getting that sweet one-hit kill, especially if you're someone using something other than a chaperone. Trust me, you're gonna get spoiled if you use a chaperone. Now that we have two of the biggest building blocks out of the way, knowing your max range and where to aim, let's talk about the no-go zone. Most shotgun users, yes, that's normal shotguns and slug shotgun users, should always avoid open spaces. These are what I like to call dead zones or no-go zones, and the reason for that is due to your lack of cover. When you have a shotgun, slug shotgun, or normal shotgun, you want to avoid open spaces like this because the last thing you want to do is just ape towards your target, head down, shotgun ready to go, and just running towards them because they're gonna take you down. You have no concealment. When it comes to traversing around the map, some of the things you can do to limit your exposure can be using pieces of landscape as your cover, such as boxes, crates, or rocks. Rather than running out in the open, try using something like a box or a crate as cover. Try moving from box to box. This is gonna allow you to keep your body concealed, and when you try to close the gap on your enemy, rather than taking some damage closing the gap, you can take minimal damage by concealing your body. But remember, not all maps have cover. If you're in an area without any cover and you want to limit your exposure, you can always get closer to a wall. Now getting into our next tip. If you're a shotgun main, you used the Felwinter's Lie before, Found Verdict, Astral Horizon, whatever it may be, you already know that you always have to clean up your target with the melee. Well, that same concept applies to slug shotguns, but more than ever. With a slug shotgun, if you don't land a critical shot on your enemy, well, they're going to be partially damaged. At that very time, you can either land a follow-up shot or clean them up with the melee. I found it to be much easier just to land a melee right after the shotgun shot, but that's not always the best course of action. If you find it much easier just to switch to your primary and clean your enemy up, then go ahead and do that, but the situation will always vary. Look, I love slug shotguns, but there's one thing that's really helped me become very proficient with them in all of my PvP matches. Well, that tip is going to be sliding. Look, if you've mained a shotgun at any time in Destiny PvP, then you know about sliding into your enemy with a shotgun and shotgunning them. Now, using that same mindset, rather than barrel stuffing your enemy, when you slide at your enemy, while you're in your slide, this is when you want to aim at your target and secure the kill. But look, let me explain why this is probably the best technique. When you run and then slide, you have this momentum behind you. So when you slide, your momentum will be propelling you forward, which is going to allow you to focus 100% on zeroing in on your aim and securing that headshot. Rather than having to focus on moving your left thumbstick or moving your character forward and then aiming with the right thumbstick or your mouse, what you can do is slide at your target. At that very moment, you no longer have to focus on moving your character forward. Momentum is moving you forward. At that time, you can now focus 100% on getting that reticle to the neck area and securing that kill. Now, that's not the only reason why you should be sliding towards your target. The reason why sliding is such a great tactic is because it lowers your body to ground, making you a much harder target to hit. Now, still on the topic of sliding, I think sliding is one of the best tactics for any slug shotgun user. And the reason for that is because if you are sprinting around the map, it takes time to ready up that shotgun. Pulling your shotgun from a sprint to the ready position will eat up a lot of time. But if you see your target and you slide at them while you're having momentum push you forward, at that very moment, you can ready your shotgun much quicker and not have to focus on sprinting, thus allowing you to secure that kill much faster. Overall, if you're someone picking up a slug shotgun for the first time, I really hope these tips help you out. Just because there is a learning curve with these shotguns and they require more precision than your normal shotguns, doesn't mean that these shotguns aren't good. Overall, if you incorporate these tips into your gameplay, you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck. With that, thank you so much for hanging out. I told you it was a shorter video than usual. Remember, if you enjoyed the video, do me a huge favor and drop a like on this video and comment down below which slug shotgun you're going to be using this season. Don't forget to join our community Discord, and like always, you guys have a good one, and I'll catch you in the next video.